Very good morning. In this session, I'm going to show you the demonstration on CI/CD process. So where the CI/CD process starts in four stages. Start with code commit, code build, code deploy, and code pipeline. In AWS console, actually this code commit is not working. So I will show you other thing. So since last 6 months, it is not happening. That is code commit. Let me open and show you. If you try to create any code commit repository, it is showing that it is no longer available. So in place of code commit repository, I try to use GitLab or GitHub. So I'm going to use GitHub here. Okay, let me use GitHub as the repository. Okay, so first thing what I want to do is I just go to your Git repository. I just go to github.com. So this is my personal GitHub repository where I want to create a new repository. Click create a new repository. I just created with the name CICD1. So because CICD already available, CICD1 I'm creating with a public repository and create the repository. Okay, now the repository gets created and this is the HTTPS that URI. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to copy this URI. Just copy this URI and what I should do is let me create one empty folder. So I'll delete. Okay, so I want to create one empty folder called CICD. Okay, so just to take this path cmd and now I want to clone it, that is git clone and that URL. Just enter it. So now what will happen, there is a empty repository is created. Now what I want to do is, now you can see that there is a CICD1 folder created. I just want to go to this folder cd space CICD1. Okay. Okay, so now what I want to do is in this folder I want to keep all my resources. So this is the resource which I already exist, which contain the files called script, app spec, build spec, and some index.html file. I'm just keeping all these files into the CICD1. Okay, so let me go to the command prompt and try to run it. That is get status. Okay, so now these files are ready to commit, are not yet committed. So what I'm doing, just git add dot. So, okay, so now you check the status, everything is ready to commit. Now get commit hyphen yum. Let me create a version as the version 1. Okay, so now try to push it, get push. So, okay, so now everything is pushed that, and please remember that the branch is the main branch. So now open your GitHub and just see that this all these files now move to your Git repository. Okay, so this is the first step, we have completed it. So let me go to the second step, that is for the code build and testing process. That is build and testing process. So let me check whether these codes whatever we uploaded, whether it is running properly or if there is any errors or not. Let me check it. Open your AWS management console and take the service called code build. Take the service called code build. Okay, I want to create a new project. Create a project and project name is, I just make it as build 123. Okay, let me create with the name build 123 and here our source is a GitHub. And click on this public repository, GitHub URL. You need to provide the GitHub URL, just to copy and give this URL. Okay, so let me, okay, so I don't want to, if you want to create a new role, you can create it, otherwise you can go ahead with the existing role. For me, I already created the role. I will just go with the existing role. Okay, so nothing else, no need of CloudWatch logs, and just click create a build project. Somewhere getting error. Okay, so here I want to choose the build spec file. So why? Because we already have this build spec file in our repository. Okay, so I'm choosing this option. Now create a build project. So now build gets build triggering is started. So now I want to start the build. So let's check the status. Let me check the status. So if there is no errors, then you will get a message as succeeded. Okay, now you see that everything is successfully done. You're getting the message as succeeded. Okay, so our file don't have any errors. Okay, so let me go for the next process, that is a deployment. And before the deployment, you need two roles. Those roles I am going to generate from the IAM. So let me duplicate this tab, and I'll go to the service called IAM. Go to this IAM, and go to this role. There are two roles we want to create a role where the first role is code deploy role, and trusted entity is the AWS services. Use case is the deploy, that is code deploy, and click on next and next. And the role, you have to provide the role name. I just make it as deploy 2. Okay, otherwise just remember the name. If you're keeping 123, just remember 123 and remember the role name. Okay, so create a role. Now role is created. Similarly, you need to create another role. So this time AWS service is the trusted entity, use case is the EC2. Okay, so now click on next, where the service is the S3 full access role. So why we are creating this role means, so there is an artifact file created while deploying. So those artifact file will be recorded into the S3. So that is the reason we are creating. So now S3 full 123. I'm just creating the role name with S3 full 123. Okay, just create a role. There are two roles now created. So now you can see that S3 full. So this is the role which we have created now, and deploy 123. These role, both roles now created. So okay, so I'm just closing it. So these steps we have completed. Let me launch one EC2 machine and install these code deploy agents, so that we can deploy our application into the machine. So go to the service called EC2 now. So now go to this instance and launch the new instance. So I'm just keeping the machine name as machine1. Just remember this name, so because we will keep this machine name while building. So just browse move AMS, select the Linux version as the pre-tier. Okay, so let me go to the keeper. No need of any keeper. And security group. Okay, so you can go ahead with any security group by enabling HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, so the next one, under the advanced detail, here you need to attach the IAM instant profile. So that is S3 full access we have created with the name S3 full 123, that to be attached. So that's it, we have done all these configuration. Simply launch the instance. Okay, so it will take some time to complete this installation. Okay, so what I want to do next is I just want to install this code deploy agent. Okay, for that a few commands to be followed. So let me go to this instance ID and try to connect it, and connect now. So it will open the CLI command line interface, so where we can keep all these commands one by one. So this is for the operating system update. So let me keep the comments. So the second one, it is completed. Second command. Let me go ahead with this third one. So actually this will take the resources from this URL and it will install the necessary packages for the code deploy agent. Okay, so I am providing the execute permission so that I'm using this ch mode. So finally, this I'm just installing it, the agent. Finally, this for checking the status of your code deploy. Okay, so you will get this message, that is some numbering you will get, so that it is successfully installed. So now if you try to check your machine, I think it will, the executions were completed, the status check still pending. Okay, so now everything is completed. We already installed the code deploy agent also, though these step also completed. Now we'll directly go to the deployment option. So okay, so we already completed this build stage. Let me go for this deploy stage and take just open another tab with the code deploy. Okay, so click on get started. I want to create a new application, create application. So I just make it as deploy 123, and choose the platform as the EC2 on premise. So because I'm going to deploy these application in EC2 only, create an application. So now create a new deployment group, and deploy group is again deploy underscore group 123. Okay, deploy underscore group 123. Let me create a service role what we already created in the step. In this step we have created the deploy role, third step. So I'm choosing the deploy role. So deployment type is in place deployment, where the environment config, I'm going to do the deployment into the EC2. So now EC2, I'm going to deploy it in machine 1. Choose the key as name and value as the machine 1. So now I don't want any load balancer here, simply create a deployment group. Okay, so that's it. We have completed everything. Deployment group, everything were completed. Okay, so now it's a time to configure our. So okay, so the last thing, you have to create this. Okay, we already created the deployment group, so no need to do it again. Okay, deployment group already done. So okay, let me go to the last step, that's the pipeline stage. Now click on this get started. So okay, so now click on create pipeline. So there are three options it is showing: deployment, continuous integration, automation, and build custom pipeline. I'll go for the last option. Next. So I want to create a pipeline one. I just go for pipeline one. Okay, the service role by default it will take. No need to choose any service role here. Click next, and the source is now. Okay, so here only our source is now GitHub. So you can either authenticate through GitHub app, otherwise via OAuth app. Okay, I'm choosing the GitHub via OAuth app. So okay, so now you want to connect it to GitHub. Click on connected to GitHub. So it will ask you for the authentication. Now authorize code suite. So let me confirm. Okay, so now authentication is successfully done. So now choose the repository. My repository is the CACD 1. The branch is actually a main branch. Okay, so by here it is automatically showing. Click on next. So now this build stage is not triggered. We need only the test stage. So you can skip this build stage. You can go ahead with the test stage with the services code build. Okay, so nothing to select here. Project name is a build 123. It is a build type is a single build. Now the deployment stage, what I'm using is actually code deploy service, AWS code deploy. and application name is deploy 123, deployment group is deploy underscore group 123. Next. Okay, so that's it, we created the pipeline. So now what this pipeline will do is, which will integrate the three things. One is your GitHub, second one is your build stage, that is CodeBuild and CodeDeploy. All these integration will be done by the code pipeline. It will take some time to load the sources. Now your source is successfully taken. Let's see whether the testing is successfully done or not. We'll see. We have to wait for some time. It will take some 30 seconds for smaller size application. First two stage successfully done. Sources successfully done. Similarly, testing also successfully done. So now the deployment is happening in your EC2 machine. If this deployment is successfully done, and we can check it with the EC2, that is a public IP address for your deployment. Okay, so first we are successfully done now. Now how to verify the output main? Go to EC2 instance, take the instance ID. Now go to this public IPv4 address and now check the results. So okay, this is what your deployment. Actually, what we did is this file we have it in your CI/CD, that is GitHub. So this file we successfully deployed. Okay, so now let me show you where this continuous integration is working. So continuous integration means when there is a changes in the original source file, automatically this pipeline will trigger. When there is a commit happening in your source file, then all these source that is all these three steps will be started again. So let me tell you, go to your CI/CD and go to this index.html file. Let me try to modify few lines here. Just edit this file. Now I'll take this, I'll go to this line. Okay, so this one, this 68th line, I just want to add a line called KL University here. Okay, I just added one line KL University. Let me check it. See that there is no KL University here. I want to add this KL University. I want to commit the changes. Click on commit changes, and the commit will happening in the main branch itself, and click on commit changes. Okay, so now changes are happening in your Git repository, and now go to your pipeline and check it. Automatically the pipeline gets refreshed without a manual intervention. So pipeline automatically triggered. So again it is taken the source from the repository. Then again the testing will happen. Finally a deployment will happen. So successfully done. Now the testing is happening. So the first two stages successfully done. We'll see the deployment in the last stage. If there is no issues, then you can able to see the changes in the in this web page. Just enter and let's check it if there is any update. So still it is loading, still it is deploying, so that I'm not getting it. Okay, so now successfully done. Let me refresh the page again. Once I will take the URL again and let me paste. Okay, you can see that there is a thing which is updated with the KL University. So likewise, you can continuously continue the if there is any changes in your file, it will update, keep on update. So those things will be taken care by the pipeline, code pipeline. So that's it. We have achieved our agenda. Thank you.